There we go. Okay. Resume. Here it is. Hang on, Alt's not even on. There we go. Alright. We've made it. I think this is... Yeah, this is it. This is the very first factory I ever built in Factorio. 2 years ago, roughly, nearly to the day. At least to the week, I would say. And this is from 0.8.8. And a lot of, I mean, well, first of all, a lot of, like, all the textures have been updated because we are playing this in 0.12, so it doesn't look as old as it used to. There were different textures for, like, the assemblers, for half of the crafting stuff. Like, most of these were completely different. I might try loading up an actual copy of 0.8 later. But yeah, a lot of the stuff has been updated here, but there are some things that are still wrong. For example, oil has not actually been invented. There is no such thing as oil, I think, in this particular copy of the game. Though, funnily enough, there appear to be oil deposits. I guess they've been spawned since, which is interesting. I'm sorry about removing the hat. It will return. It heralds my arrival and my leaving. Do I prefer Windows 10, Windows 8, Windows 7? I prefer... Well, I prefer anything over Windows 8. I'm currently on Windows 10 and it's fine. I've had little trouble with it. Oh, I don't know if the... My capture software had a bit of a hiccup there. I'm not sure if that was causing some trouble there. If anything goes weird with the stream, then please do say so. See, here's a cool thing. The stack sizes are different. They were all powers of 2. So, if I remove these, I can't put them back the same. There we go. I can only pick up 50, and then I can only put back enough to put it up to 50. So you used to have... stack sizes of 64 and 128 for everything. Yeah, the science pack assembly, I imagine, is completely broken. The blue science packs should not work. I mean, they're asking for batteries, advanced circuit smart inserters and steel plates, which is correct. However, what's being fed to them is almost exactly the same, but instead of a battery, it's a rocket, because that was what it used to require. I'm not sure if batteries even exist. In fact, I'm fairly sure they don't. Because that was a big oil thing. And also, there's an assembler over there which appears to have had its function erased, but it still has modules in it, which suggests that it was making something that doesn't exist anymore. And I can't even think of what that was. There was some item, apparently, that doesn't exist anymore, used to make landmines in the distant past. And that machine was making them. Trains have been around for a while, working pretty much the same. The lengths of them haven't even changed. Everything still works with this perfectly. There have been a lot of improvements, but the basic framework was already in place and this still operates fine. But that might change soon. In 0.13 they're apparently going to do some rejigging of the sizes of cargo wagons and things, because they're all weird and wrong, basically. Like, they're fine horizontal, but when you go vertical it all goes very strange. And I think the current plan is to make it so that trains are the same length vertical as horizontal. The thing about that being that the game uses an angled perspective, so it would mean the train physically gets longer when it turns to face north or south. So that might look weird, or maybe they'll make it work, I'm not sure. How long does it take to end the game? Well, that's a abstract sort of question. I mean, it can take anywhere from 2 hours and 16 minutes or something like that is the speed run record at the moment, or it could take 100 hours. Because it's sort of, I mean, the research finishes eventually. There is a sort of there's an end game when you launch a rocket, but you can just keep playing. So it's open-ended. The ending can take an extremely variable amount of time. This particular save file, I think I might have reached the end. I think I completed it at this point, and I made the rocket defense. And I don't know whether, like, I don't know what the state the rocket defense was in, because the moment I loaded this game, it was annihilated. So either it was in my inventory, like in that slot there, and there was probably something in that slot there too, who knows, or it was built somewhere, but whatever, like wherever it was before, it doesn't exist anymore. You can continue well beyond the end, like the end game that you are given, as demonstrated by my Railworld series, which has been going for 50-ish episodes since I ran out of science. I just kept going and doing cool things. Built a railway around a lake. A huge lake. And all sorts of cool things. But yeah, let's hop on the train, I think. It's not actually here at the moment, so I guess we'll wait for it. But yeah, this was how my brain worked when I started playing Factorio. Everything was a complete and utter mess. It was all sort of crammed in, because I didn't know what I would need next, so I just made things like, all these are separate because they were all built at separate times. I never built an array of these. I built one, and then I needed more, so I made another, and then I made another. And there's crazy belt stuff going on. But what have I researched? That'll be an interesting thing to look at, actually. Apparently there's research currently ongoing. It's not going to get very far, because we, Oh, actually, I cut the... Why did I cut this line? I cut this for a reason. For some reason I stopped sides. Ooh, this might be from the moment that I made my second Factorio base tour, because I have toured this base in 2 videos. In the first one, it was a little bit earlier on, and I had a railway, I had a rail line that looped round this, up through here, and like down here again, or maybe I think it might have gone up there. But it basically just went around all this circuit production. I sort of built it around, like inside it. And it went over there to an iron mine, which is now just a bunch of solar panels because the iron ran out. But then I made a second video later on showing the progress I'd made, and I guess this must be me cutting the line so the research wouldn't go off while I was making the video. So perhaps I didn't have the rocket defense done, but let's look at the tech tree. Unfortunately, I don't think I had everything complete. Well, I didn't have everything complete because I was still doing research. But if I had, we could see like how much research had been implemented since 0.8. And I imagine half this stuff is new. Something about going out to space from Alpha John. Oh yeah, there will be an end game in the future involving space. It's being worked on, but it's a little while away yet. I'll launch rockets in Railworld eventually, don't worry. Oh yeah, I didn't know what anything about the main bus concept when I started this. There is no indication of it. And it was very organic because I literally just built things as they were needed. I would build. So there's this copper line. Yeah, it just sort of goes through the factory. I've got like... Wait, did splitters... I don't think splitters existed back when I made this. I think splitters weren't a thing. There is one over there, actually, but that's like the only... Yeah, the only ones I see are blue ones. I mean, it could just be that I wasn't using them. There is one there. I don't know, but I was using inserters to split off the line. So maybe splitters were a thing. I remember they definitely weren't a thing in the demo. They might still not be. At some point I will do a modded series. It's inevitable. Ideas are brewing for something. Once, like, Living with Biters has finished, or Railworld or something. Oh yes, the belt thing is fairly recent. Inserters pick up things. So like these inserters can pick this stuff off the belt. But in 0.12 they change it so the belt has to actually be under where the inserter is. But funnily enough, I didn't know this at first. So there are cases where the belt goes all the way up to the inserter because I didn't yet know that that was how it worked. Now, it caught me that I didn't have room for a splitter because I just put this wall here. I think splitters probably did exist. They were a very early thing. I perhaps just wasn't aware they existed for a while, or I might have been like not. I might have been trying to limit how much was removed, but it's a fast inserter anyway. Why have I got an active provider? Do I have a logistics system? Oh, I do. It's got 14 logistics spots in it and nothing else. Either it might be because I didn't put any in it, or it might be because updating the game annihilated them one way or another. Ooh, the train's here. Let's take it. Yeah, when I made the original video, I did a tour in the train, and I also poodled about in the car and had a lot of trouble with trees because the tank didn't exist yet, and tree collisions were completely different. But here we go. This was the one train. Well, actually, there were two trains for a time, but the old one got demolished because it was finished. Here we are. This is... I think this was once, like, more than a coal mine. There was definitely something here, I think. It might have been copper. Something like that. I've got... What is this? Like, why didn't I use splitters for that? Maybe if splitters didn't exist, because why on earth would I ever build that when splitters were a thing? Unless I just didn't know. I might have just not known. But this just pootled about a couple of my bases. I retrieved a bunch of ores and such. Here we go. This one had a power failure when I did my original video. I was just happily talking away, and the train pulled out of the station, and I didn't even notice that just as it happened, everything died. Yeah, everything has 2 modules in, possibly because that was all that any building could originally have. I'm using splitters there. This was built later, so maybe that's it. Also, this is an iron mine from an iron deposit all the way up there. Oh, of course, it's not being loaded because the belts don't reach far enough anymore. So yeah, I'm actually delivering iron plate back, which is interesting because I have smelting back there, I think. Oh, turrets. That's the point. They changed the size of turrets, so I'll be able to... I'll have a look around and see if I've got any clipping through each other. Ooh, what is that? That must be... That's some sort of water that doesn't exist anymore. Weird swamp water or something. Let's stop the train and explore this one. So yeah, a type of terrain that doesn't even exist anymore. That's cool. And this is a weird system I've gone for. I sort of get why I did it. Double thick walls and a gap for extra protection of the turrets, and then if they break through, the laser turrets can kick in. Otherwise, I guess they'll reach any biters that come right up. That's a point. Back when I made this game, there was no such thing as spitters. They didn't exist. Neither did behemoths of any description. There were only small, medium, and large biters. So these defenses may not be capable of dealing with the new creatures we now have attacking us. So that could be interesting. I mean, at the moment, there's basically no pollution because everything's shut down because all my inserters are placed wrong. But if they were to attack, we might be in a bit of trouble because these defenses have never had to face against something with projectiles. Right, we will continue. What's the schedule I've got for this? It's 30 seconds everywhere apart from the Old Bull station. Which one's that? Oh, that's the first one. The one that's just a bit of coal now. The thing is, all these particular names here are weirdly, familiar to me. I remember them all well because they are the station names of my original stations. And Old Bull was like one of the very first I made in Christoph Alves. And then later on these two came along, and these are people who've supported the game since before it had before it reached like 10,000 players. So this is ancient history, because the game's got like 250,000 players now or something crazy. The water is green because reasons, I guess. The developers clearly didn't know what reasons, because they then removed it in later updates. I've got a car factory here that just produces like 64 cars or whatever. Or 58 cars. Why did these chests have a stack size of 58? Is that like, hang on, let me make one in case that's changed. I've never bothered counting before. No, they all have that. I don't know why it is 58. That's a very weird number to use, unless I counted it wrong. Railworld content, I haven't reached the map edge. Yeah, the Farlands or whatever. Factorio has to have Farlands of some description, right? Actually, I think they might like already have a system in place so that that can't happen, the same as Minecraft now does. All the stack sizes of 64. Unfortunately, do I have any stacks of copper cables around? I don't think I ever put them in a chest. I worked out by the end of this save game that how, like... Actually, no, I didn't work it out. I was going to say I worked out that you always put copper wire straight into an assembler, but I've clearly not done that. I guess it is for advanced circuits though, so it's slightly excusable, but I didn't know about like the ratio for circuits, so it's just one copper wire assembler for one circuit assembler. Stuff like that. I'm surprised at how much of this stuff works, actually. Like, the only thing that's properly broken is, like, the rockets being fed into science. That's not a thing. Well, we have some science packs left. I don't know how many. This many, I guess. I don't see any stored anywhere. So this is how much we have to play with if we want to do any other research. Walk and find out if there's an edge to the map or Farlands or whatever. I feel like it would take a very long time. Like, immensely. Like, more than how long, like, Farlands or Bust is taking. Oh, here's a thing that's broken. Because I can't even put that belt in, because then that inserter will... Well, then it'll go onto the science belts. Luckily, I can just rearrange this. I've got a complete mess of power poles going on here. It's all short range. No power poles of any other kind. No substations, no long range poles. There's a couple of mediums around there, because that was a new system. We can fix that. The module combinations are strange. Does this make sense? No. Like, I was wondering, maybe like I've made it so that it cancels, that the efficiency cancels out the speed module's extra pollution, but it doesn't. I've just put a random combination of modules in that doesn't, unless the numbers may have been completely different when I originally set this up. Do I watch other Factorio Let's Plays? I don't. I sort of... never... Well, I originally did. I originally watched, like, Avak's very first attempts at it. Like, his one video he did, where he did something very similar to this. He had a train with a couple of, like, locations, and he had logistic spots going, and I immediately thought that was a really cool thing. And he did some live streams on it, and I watched those before I was actually doing YouTube myself. But since I started, I haven't really... Oh, one other one I watched Sips play it, because Sips played it 2 years ago. And didn't get very far. People didn't seem to find it interesting. I want to hook this up, but I also don't want to do Combat Robotics 3, I want to do something else. But it's like all the oil research is not done because it's new. It didn't exist before. I've got no chance of researching rocket silo with the stuff I have at the moment. I guess I should research like the oil stuff so I can try and get that working. Wait, why hadn't I researched engine? I must have researched engines because I've made a car already. So I guess that research was redone and has appeared uncompleted again. How long was I playing Factorio before I had a good grasp on how everything works? That's a hard one to say, really. I mean, for start off, it was 2 years ago, so it's hard to remember. Probably, like, after completing the game, like, twice over, off-screen, I felt pretty, like, good in terms of my abilities, but that was, like, many, many hours. This save file at the moment is about 40 hours. And, then the other one I did... Oh, are things working? Everything froze for a minute. Is everything going okay? Yeah, this is a 40-hour save file, and probably the second game I did was more like 30 hours because I'd got the hang of things and made a better system. And I felt a lot more accomplished at that point, and like I knew what I was doing. And then I did the first series, which I guess we'll go to that world in a minute. We've had a good explore of this one, I guess. But I did my first series. We used to be a station here, and I would deliver ammo over. This is the box it was unloaded into, and coal for the train itself. And it would loop round here and go back. And I was run over by it hundreds of times. Because it went through the middle of the factory. Like, it was in the factory. Like, the reason this looks a little bit spacious is because I removed the train line that ran straight through the middle of this. I might reinstate it for a minute. Because it did just run through the middle like this. It was right up against that wall. Trains would come flying through all the time. Oh yeah, this didn't exist before because the rails literally went straight through here and then they looped down here somewhere and went off this way. And there was a station here where everything got loaded on and stuff. So Minecraft World stops generating after 1,000,000 chunks, which is 50 hours at train speed. But the thing is, I imagine Factorial's probably better with that, because there's less that each chunk has to deal with. Like a Minecraft chunk is thousands of blocks, whereas a Factorio chunk is like 64 squares that can have flooring on them and machines on them, and that's it. A mod for super fast power suits. Such things already exist. Go play Bob's Mods. And make the final tier of all of the power suit stuff in that, and it's terrifying. You can walk through walls. And you can choose the thickness of wall you can walk through, like depending on how many extra exoskeletons you can put in. If you watch the end of the Factorio Mass series that I did with Avak, Arumba, Shenrir, and Stejo, we did that. Now, I spent like the last 5 episodes just phasing through walls. It made things a lot easier, being able to immediately leave the, like, cross over the defenses. I could just go straight through, and if I added more stuff, I could have probably run through an assembler if I really tried. That's interesting. This thing has lost its task, but its task appears to be making walls. So I guess at some point, walls were, edited. Same as whatever, like, that over there was. I guess whenever a crafting recipe has been in any way changed, any assemblers tasked with using it have died. Ooh, here's an interesting thing. Because oil didn't exist, you didn't need lubricant to make blue belts. So this doesn't work anymore. What else do we not have? I'll look at the science, because that'll tell me a lot of it. Do we have shotguns? Who knows? Yeah, anything oil-based didn't exist. Of any description. Tanks didn't exist. I'm not sure if blueprints properly existed back then. They may not have been a thing. Or if they were a thing, they were a very new thing. Concrete and stone flooring didn't exist. The circuit network didn't. All this oil stuff didn't. Though I think some of this stuff I've just never finished researching. But yeah, this was the very, very first time I played the full version of Factorio. I did play the demo before this, but not much happened in that because it was the demo. I couldn't achieve that much. I achieved what I could and then I moved on to this. Oh yeah, I sort of got distracted like from what I was saying before about not watching other YouTube series. I watched Sips and Avac 2 years ago, and since then I haven't really watched anything. And part of the reason is that like I don't want to like be influenced by them too much, because if I watch someone else playing Factorio, I'll see all their designs and then I'll just end up using them. Because I'll see something that I didn't think of and go, oh, I should use that, and then it'll just be like whenever I build something, it's like, yeah, I saw this on someone else's channel. So if I don't watch other people play Factorio, then I can still come up with my own stuff. And I came up with, well, I can't show you it here because it definitely doesn't exist, but I made a cool array for making advanced circuits, and I didn't have any sort of outside influence on that. And I still don't know whether it's a commonly used design. I wouldn't be that surprised, but I'm proud that I came up with it independently. And I wouldn't have had the chance if I'd seen someone else build it first. A million chunks, 60 million blocks. But now someone's saying 12 million blocks is how far away the Farlands are in Minecraft. Walls research, that's the point. That didn't exist before. You just made walls before. You didn't have to research them first. That's probably the case with a couple of these, actually. The basic stuff. Gates weren't a thing at all, as evidenced by all my weird little tunnels going on. And so I couldn't, like, seal off this railway over here because gates weren't a thing. And you just had to cram any gaps with turrets and hope that the biters couldn't get through. Yeah, there are no Farlands now. I don't know whether there would be any in Factorio. I should fix some of this stuff seeing as I'm here. Try and get a couple more things operating. It's fairly pointless because I would need to do a massive rearrangement to make the blue signs operate again, what with the whole rocket thing. And the recipe for rockets now requires explosives, and they weren't a thing before. I think it was just circuits, gears, and iron. And somehow that made a rocket. Because of reasons. Trying to catch up on chat, and I'm just being very boring and quiet now while I'm doing it. Just try and put in some belt ends around the place. It won't work properly, but we'll get a bit of activity going. The factory will see life again. Well, that's the point. This doesn't work, because green science packs used to use belts and circuits. Nowadays they use belts and inserters. Inserters are not made anywhere near here. They are made over there. So that's not happening. I don't do 4 times regular speed nowadays, it's 3 times. The original Factorio series was, but Towns and Railworld are both triple speed. But you can double that for 6 times, which is what I do when I watch them back and make sure that they're not all broken and stuff. I feel like my videos are better when you double the speed, as long as you're able to keep up with what I'm saying. How long will I be streaming? Well, I need to know what the time is first. The current plan is another hour and a half, but I might go longer, it depends. There is a point where I have to go, but I don't know exactly when that is. It's either in an hour and a half or longer. Yes, Bentham is one I always introduce myself as and prefer being called, but unfortunately it is also the name of a philosopher called Jeremy Bentham, who invented utilitarianism and designed the never-built Panopticon prison, and was also an early advocator of underpants. So that's cool. But it makes it more difficult to use the name of Bentham for all things. I would like at some point to change my channel's name to just Bentham. It would save a lot of confusion. It would make a lot more sense to just have one name. And I guess it would require a transition period where I'm called like Mangledpork Bentham or Bentham Mangledpork, just so people got used to both names, and then I could get rid of the Mangledpork. And it would still be present in various ways. It would be in like the description and stuff. I am an advocate of underpants. I think they're an excellent idea. As opposed to not wearing any underwear, which is not that nice. But I think that's probably enough for this save. You've seen pretty much all of it. There's not that much. What have I got in my inventory? Loads of modules. Crazy for modules. Distractor capsules. Landmines. Don't think I ever even used them. All the stacks have been readjusted. So I had 2 sacks of 64 wood. And then they got rearranged. But yeah, beyond what we've seen on the train, I guess I'll take the train again in case there are new people who haven't seen since I last took it, but I think we will hop over to another old save file of mine soon. Where's my copper smelting? Is this it? No, this is the iron smelting. Where do I smelt copper? Oh, I don't. I smelt it at the outpost for whatever reason. Oh, the turrets, yes. The turrets changed size. They used to be 1x2. They've become 2x2. Which means that they're currently, like, lined up weirdly. Let's build another one. So relative to an inserter, it would usually be like that. But because of weirdness, they're like that. And they actually cover a 2x3 space, because they basically just expanded out from the point they were on. And laser turrets used to be 1x1 and switched to 2x2. So those things were tiny, you could put millions of them in. That's the point. I was talking about turrets and we arrived in a base where there were turrets and I completely forgot and didn't do anything about it. I will go back there then and look at it again. Why am I using two-headed trains in towns instead of circles like I use in Railworld? Because it's different. I shouldn't make the same rail network every time, that would be boring. And I also wanted to do a more realistic sort of thing there anyway, where you actually have... Well, what usually happens is that the trains will be double-headed. And so having stations like that fits that a bit more. Here's a very old town that doesn't do much anymore. It used to mine iron or copper or something, and now it just does coal. I think there might be... Is there a car somewhere around here? No, that was an old... That was the original base tour that I did. There was a car just like sat over there or something that I stumbled upon while I was looking for one. And my copper outpost. And there is an iron outpost up there, but I don't think there's anything of interest to see. It's just iron miners. Actually, I will, just in case there's something cool, because who knows what 2 years younger me was thinking back then when he was building it. That's interesting. My radar outposts have barely changed in 2 years. That's pretty much the same design I use at the moment. That's very weird. I thought I'd come up with that design later on, but apparently I've been doing that since the very beginning. Oh, there is something weird. Oh, well, first of all, the turrets now block the entrance a little bit. You can go between them. Yeah, they used to be like lined up with the edge, so they've sort of expanded over the top. But I think this stuff still runs underneath. I know inserters can't work if a turret is expanded over them. But yeah, this is entirely solar powered. I had no idea. That's quite cool. I think the ratios of solar panels to accumulators may be a bit off. I don't really know. And I probably didn't know then. We've had a couple of attacks here, but I think that's in the distant past at this point. These things are loaded with stupid amounts of ammo. I wonder, maybe I should... What power suit am I wearing? Ooh, that's a decent one. Do I have a spare exoskeleton? No, and I can't make one. Because I'm thinking we might have a bit of fun with things. And just wander over this way for no particular reason. Hello there. Ooh, behemoths. Interesting, because they didn't exist last time I was here. Unfortunately, no spitters, because spitters need their own dedicated spawners. My capture is crashing again. I don't know. Maybe you didn't hear anything I said there. That's possible. Ooh, I have a car. I should use that then. I have multiple cars, apparently. Let's set this up. Excellent. Cars didn't used to change colour when you got in them before. Yeah, let's see. I mean, my defences should fare decently well against behemoths, really. Oh, and I was using my my lasers. The parachute lasers back in the day, apparently. Now here's the thing, because spitters don't exist, I can just herd these guys forever. I can go... Oh, are they spitters? They are spitters. Okay, that's a new base that has since been built. Spitters do exist, and they are now chasing me. But I don't see any behemoths, which is a shame. I was hoping for some behemoth spitters. Perhaps I can induce some to spawn. Let's go over this way. Yeah, we're about to leave anyway, so it doesn't matter if everything gets horribly blown up. Yeah, still no behemoths. The pollution might not be enough yet for them to be spawning, but it's enough for behemoth biters, perhaps. Oh, they're all getting a little bit stuck. Something of a traffic jam going on there. Oh, my car is wrecked. I didn't even realise how damaged it was. I'm glad I noticed that. Let's stay out of range of anything that can fire projectiles now. We'll just focus on herding these guys. Oh, there's another base down there. Let's stay away from that. Oh, they might go for that radar. I've gone a bit close to it. Yep, some of them have just gone for that. Right, let's do this. Attack my pretties. I will hide on the other side of this. Hopefully you won't be clever enough to go around it. It doesn't matter. You're strong enough to go around it. Let's move away. The base is actually faring pretty well. I was hoping it would die. Oh crap. I looked at chat for a second. It was a bad idea. Are there guns here? There are guns here. That's okay then. So in this defensive line... Oh, explosions. I guess they overwhelmed that base then. Okay, I'm going to be risky. Hop out. Repair, 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 repair. Get back in. Run. Okay, so those things didn't have much ammo in them, as it turns out. Hi there. Whoop. Don't mind me. Oh, they've blown up those defenses over there. And those ones. And these ones. Okay, let's not go back there now. The copper base must defend us now, he says as its turrets start to explode. Run. Get inside. Can't go through there. Go through here. We're in. They're in. Oh, wow. Okay, they're more powerful than I anticipated. I'm going to go out the back. Yeah, my base wasn't ready for this, as it turns out. I was correct. I will now run away. I do have another car, but do I have enough time to set up said car? so that I can escape in it. Perhaps if the train is passing, I can hop on it as it goes past. I don't see a train. Oh wait, oh, I can just get back in the car, that's the point. Oh, unless I get hurted. Okay, I ran into them and exploded. Luckily, I can outrun them. Unless my power suit decides to keep shooting them until I run out of battery. But I have managed to get out of range of that. There's only a few behemoths now. That's okay, right? That won't result in horrible death, right? Goodbye, gentle crabfish. No train to be seen anywhere, and I'm running them along the wrong line. I should have run along this one so that if the train arrived, it would kill them. Now, they are just going to run straight through that gap, which is a problem. And I've now got them on the wrong side of the wall for it not being destroyed. Steady. Nearly got them all. Oops, let's not get stuck now. And that's done. Okay, carrying on with our lives. So yeah, the turrets here are slightly off. I mean, that one's exploded now, but I think that one occupies a space it can't because there's water there. Oh, here comes the train. And yeah, the laser turrets down here were in a one high gap and expanded to fill it, and it's slightly awkward, but it works, so I'll leave it. Not that I'm going to save after this, because I'm sort of wrecking everything now. And now we wait 30 seconds. We're in episode 36 of Railworld. You have much cool stuff in store. Did you like the trolling in episode 34, I think? But we'll make our way back to the main base and, I don't know, wreck that too, I guess. I do remember when I was originally playing this, there was a time where biters got in. They came in from the north, because there's a gap there, and I've since defended that a little bit. Put a bunch of stuff in the way, but they just ran straight through and just annihilated half my stuff. Luckily, I think ghost images still maybe existed at that point, so I was able to use them to an extent, but I nearly couldn't rebuild it, because it was such a convoluted mess already. There was more stuff here as well. Some of this stuff's since been removed, because I didn't need it anymore. But I nearly couldn't rebuild it because I had no idea how it worked. It was one of those things where I put it in place and then left it. Nowadays I can look at it and have a better idea because I've played Factorio so much I can tell what this is doing. But back then I couldn't. Once it was working, I had to hope that no one ever blew it up, and then they blew it up. Which was interesting, but I managed to put it back together and continue on, and I put some defences in the north. Oh, the April Fool's video, that was fun. And just in case anyone doesn't know, because I never actually explicitly said at any point that it was an April Fool's video. I just tried to make it obvious. That Factslorio was not going to be a thing. Right, well we have another car. Oh wow, it is so low on fuel. I'm glad I checked that. I will give it... That's the point. I don't think cars used to have guns. I don't think you could... No, I don't think they did. Cars didn't have guns back when I played this. So these were just for running around and drawing the biters' attention to kill them and stuff. And scout places out. And then they introduced tanks. And then I think after they introduced tanks, they gave guns to cars, or they did it at the same time. Well, you might get a second episode in, on April 1st, 2017. That could happen. The thing about that is, if I then actually continue the series as I said I would, by doing another episode the next year, technically it's like it wasn't an April Fool's joke. So that could mean that next April Fool's, the joke is that the previous one wasn't a joke. Wallace and grommeting into a biter base unfortunately doesn't work that well, because you just sort of stop when you get to it. Anyway. Plenty of open space. I think the terrain segmentation was possibly high, based on how mental this landscape is. And of course, if you set it to low, you end up with Rail World, where everything is the same biome. And there's a massive lake, bigger than anything you've ever seen in Factorio, that takes a very, very long time to circumnavigate. Well, it appears there's plenty of desert and not much tree around here, so I reckon we can do some more biter herding without too much difficulty. Try and avoid the spitters. And to see how the main base fares against the onslaught, because I've really set that up to be attacked by millions of biters, so if we attack it with millions of biters it might be alright. Oh wow, that was half my health. Let's not go in anywhere near range of worms in a car, because that's just not good. I don't know if I'm still being followed by all the other biters. I don't know, like, at what point they give up. Because I know that happened in the original War for the Lake. The biters gave up and went home, which was interesting. And a bit anticlimactic. I really wish they'd followed me all the way to Iron Outpost 2. And there'd been a catastrophic battle in which Iron Outpost 2 probably fell. But it never happened. They just gave up and went home. And then, like, an actual... Oh, no. I saw that coming. Yeah, then an actual year later... oh, God, I'm not going to make it. No, 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 no. Walls. Build walls. Where's the way in? I guess this is a way in. It's not really. I've told them how to get round it. Okay, this is interesting. Let's not stay here. They're attacking every point at once, but still winning. This is the main defensive thing here. This is the thing that's never supposed to fall. Let's see how it does. It's got plenty of ammo. There are no behemoths this time, so actually we might just be alright. It was the behemoths that really caused the troubles with the previous attacks. I mean, they're still wrecking that place. That place is ruined. They've overwhelmed that. They used up all the ammo and then blew up the... Yep. There he goes. That's not gone well. But I don't think they care about blowing up the actual solar panels. They're fine with that. It is personal laser defense, back when I bothered to use it. Here it is. I've since decided that more shields and a shotgun is the better approach. Have I ever played on an island? Not really. I have a save file somewhere, which I've probably ended up importing into this game now, after I just sort of spammed all the save files I had available into it. Where I started on a decently sized island that looks like it would be quite good for an island playthrough. Like, it had enough in terms of resources to actually work. But I don't think I ever actually played on it. I just saved that game as it was and left it, and I think that's from 0.9 as well, so who knows what it's like now. Right, well, we went okay. I mean, they've annihilated this, but then they went home? I don't know. I should have paid more attention. I don't know whether they came and attacked or they just left, or both. This place seems to be fine. It's even still operating. It's even still supplying power to the main base. This is all wrecked, though. That's why we have 2 walls. Why Do I just keep generating cars? What's going on here? No, every time I build a car, another car would appear. I was getting quite confused. Right, well there were no behemoths, which is a shame. If we go for a second pass, they might have spawned now. I'm happy to help, WRC Meister. Then I'm able to send you to sleep with living with biters. Still no behemoths, what's going on? They should have spawned. They spawned in the other base. There were enough of them to tear through half my stuff. I had to use 2 different outposts to stop them, because one of them died. Oh, I'm being delivered. Oops, I didn't actually manage to attract them that time. I guess I'll just park up and let the turrets do their thing. This can't possibly go wrong. Let's try and stay off the rail tracks as much as possible. Here they come. This has got automatic loading. They can't get through here. Maybe. That was quite close, to be fair to them. There's the train happily pootling along. There you go, my 14 bots that I have in the system are delivering me ammo. I let them because I think the train will be a while yet. Right, let's drive off this way. Why do I refer to myself in third person in video descriptions? I feel like that works nicer. It's describing the video from an objective-ish standpoint, I guess. It's a third person who's telling you about it, even though it's me. That was a terrible explanation, really. I just like it that way. I've probably seen other YouTubers do that a little bit, so I just went for that. Because having seen it before, it made sense to me. Behemoths might only spawn in new bases. That's possible. But that doesn't match up with what I've seen in Factorio Railworld. Though, I did hopscotch from 0.8 to 0.10 and then to 0.12. So if there were certain things that happened in 9 and 11 that affect things, then the fact that I've skipped those might mean that the rules work a little bit differently. I know it's not normal in comments, but I feel like video descriptions are different. There's all that devastation here. Well, that's interesting. The wreckage of the turrets is also displaced. Interesting indeed. What did you miss from the beginning of the stream to now? I poked about in files for a while until I found my very original save game from when I first started playing Factorio 2 years ago. And then I proceeded to wreck it a bit. Which I will now have another attempt at, because I didn't wreck it enough. It makes me sound like an entire crew making videos. Guess that's not a bad thing. It's professional. And here's the behemoths. What's going on with this? Why are the behemoths there and nowhere else? Apart from also there. Hi guys. There we go. I'll just cart you around for a while. Draw the attention of a few more. I don't see a single small biter. We may be in a current state of pollution, or evolution, or whatever, where small biters aren't being made. Because that can happen. And there's the second crop. No behemoths in that one. Weird. Just drive around for a while. Get them into a clump. Make them more effective. Oh, I've drawn the attention of another base that isn't particularly dangerous. Relative. No behemoths. There we go. That's a pretty destructive force there. And no spitters this time to accidentally annihilate me as I'm driving. We'll just circle them again. There we go. Alright, bring them in. Oh, that was a bit close. That could have gone very wrong. Right, now I need to lead them to the correct base. I don't want them to go to the outpost. I want them to go this way. Some of the water is green because originally there was green water in the game. And when the developers realized they had no idea why they'd done it, they removed it. As far as I can tell. Or it was supposed to be like a marsh or something. Oh, no, 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 that's bad, that's bad, that's bad. Go, 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 go. Whoa, okay. That went wrong. That's what happens when you hit a tree very slowly. You just sort of stop, and then you have to keep ramming into it until finally you break through. And you gotta hope you're not being chased by behemoth biters and such. Oh, I can't get him run over by the train now. It's gone past already. Ooh, I don't think I can go through that gap. Let's go around this way. Doop-de-doo. Alright. In we go. This is going to go wrong because I'm leading them straight through the open doorway in the side of my factory. They're just continuing to follow me. I need to continue to run. Go this way. This is a dead end. I'm going to go quicker. Break through, break through. Come through here. Close it up again. Go around this way. I'm sort of going back in the base, which is inhabited by biters a bit. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, they're breaking through. This is my last defense. There is nothing else. This might be okay. The laser turret is gone. Oh, these are running out of ammo. That's interesting. Also, I am being hit. Oh. Oh, there's a behemoth over there, but they all otherwise seem to be dead. Oh, he's glitching crazily. Oh, now he's off. He's slowly being killed. He's dead. Okay, we made it. I was surprised there. There were millions of biters bearing down on us. I encased myself in concrete, and they were attacking me over the concrete, and then suddenly they were all dead. And we're fine. I guess I'll restock these. Right, well, I was hoping it would blow me up, actually, so I could move on. We're going to go to another base now. Continue with our exploration of my history with Factorio. I imagine a second attack of a similar size will most definitely result in the base's destruction. It appears that we've not been resupplied with ammo. That might be because of all the explosions over there, or maybe all the bots are dead. All the bots are dead. That happened. A lot of notifications now for... Oh, don't hit the train. We already had one stream end that way. Hello, Remix000, with your confusingly written name. And goodbye, Alpha John. If I've not already missed you, because I wasn't paying attention. The only way to get through to the base I'm going for is to just go through the middle of these two, so let's do that thing. Oh, only one of them attacked. Hi guys, again, I'm still alive. Your previous attack party failed. But I will give you another chance. Oh, this isn't good, this isn't good, this isn't good! Dodge! We're okay. I did not think that maneuver through there. We'll just continuously aggro this base. Gathering more and more behemoths. Alright, that should do. Though some of them appear to run off for a second there. We'll bring them out into the open for a quick bit of herding. Interestingly, I seem to drive faster on desert than I do on grassland. I didn't think it was that way around, and perhaps it isn't. Oh wow, a huge green lake. Interesting. Or maybe this is plains rather than desert, that's possible. Come on guys. Doing figure of eights waiting for you. Probably shouldn't taunt the giant army of death. Oops, steady. Gotta go this way. Ooh, the train's right here. That's fantastic. Oh, it's gonna be... No, they're not gonna get there in time. Oh, I didn't run them over. I guess we could try and cause that to happen. If we go this way... Avoiding hitting any trees. In 30 seconds, the train should pass by here. So if we can buy time, keep the biters in the area, we might be able to run them over with a train. Just try and keep them on the tracks as much as possible. That's looking pretty good. We've got behemoths. Come on, train. I need you right about now. Come on, this is the perfect moment. Come on, train. Please. Where are you? Here it comes. Haha! Oh, beautiful. Oh, it stopped. That's not good. Also, this place has already been attacked once. The train has just stopped. It's being torn apart. No! No, train! No, I'm sorry! I didn't mean for this. This wasn't the plan. Oh god. Kill them. I think I've drawn... Oh, one of the cargo wagons is gone. I think... Is it? Oh no, it might just be broken off. I'm gonna go back around this way. Steady, steady, steady. It's been... Oh yeah, we have lost one. We've lost the coal wagon. Oops. Right, let's run through here. Oh, apparently they're wreaking havoc down there. I didn't even know they were down there. Oh, steady, steady. There we go. So the train's sort of dead. That's a bit of a problem. Actually, get out. Get in. Drive. We're missing half the train, but this'll work. I could potentially ram them, but I don't know how well that will work. And reverse. Reverse quicker. This isn't really working. Nope, this didn't work at all. Leave. The train's okay, mostly. It's not going to be for long, admittedly. It's going to die. I'll just park it up here. I'm sorry. I'll try repairing you in case you survive. Thank you, Tepalus. For those who don't know, I'm doing this because it's the 2nd anniversary of the channel. I'm sorry, train. I hope they leave you. They might. They won't leave me. They're coming for me. I'm just gonna reinstate my little fortress here. Oh god, they're blowing up the turrets from the outside. I still have some spare ammo. Actually, I think I'm going to still win this. It's because I softened the blow by going to the outpost first. I guess we can do it one more time. We still have a car over here. Or we can use the train. Oh, we need a car, actually, to get where we need to be. Oh, something's still blowing up, I think, maybe. Yeah, there is a biter over there. Behemoth. Now he's leaving. He's finished. He's happy. He's off. Good luck in life, Mr. Behemoth. I wonder if he'll now cause the base he's arriving in to... Oh no, they blew up another wagon! I'm sorry, train. It's okay, we can rebuild him, we have the technology. What's the button? It's like G? There we go. And then... Can we reverse the... No, we can't. Hang... Oh, actually, what we can do... Disconnect. Reverse. Magic. You can just press R over a train, even if you're in it, and it will swap around its position, and you can just go backwards. We should probably not be going too fast because of the whole thing of the remaining cargo wagons. Oops. Did that wrong. G, everything's reattached. We're good. We've lost some of us. Also, there are explosions over there. You thought of a new challenge for me, Dragonfire. What are my thoughts on Infinifactory? I haven't played it. Probably should at some point. But I don't so much, because that's one of the... That's one of those puzzly type ones, isn't it? I prefer the sort of open... The openness of Factorio. You can do anything, and there are a million solutions to every problem. Of all sorts of varying difficulties and efficiencies and stuff like that. And I think that's a lot of the reason I like it, and I'm not so much interested by games where you have to build a specific factory for a specific purpose. Or whatever. That sort of thing. I'm not saying that well, but... I need some coal, but I think I have tons of it. The factory's surprisingly intact, considering. But it's probably because the biters are just sort of going for me rather than anything else here. Right, we'll leave that car. Take the train. I've got very sidetracked by this particular map. I was supposed to be going on a big romp through all my different maps. But I'm just spending all my time trying to destroy this one and failing. Goodbye, Jack. I hope you enjoyed. They do not need to make behemoths tougher. Seriously. They are already like 10 times as powerful as big biters, and it's insane. Oh, I should reverse this. For this particular task. Whoops. It's fine. Not enough space to connect? Now there is. Oh, that was weird. Did you see that? The front cargo wagon set off first. The thing actually powering this is at the back. Very strange. Right, let's get ready for a rapid escape. And try this again. Wait a minute. I had no idea it did that. When you hop in and there's no fuel, it makes an engine... It makes the noise of the engine turning over and failing. That's fantastic. I never knew that was a thing. Flying biters. It's only a matter of time. I fully hope... I was going to say expect, but I'll switch that to hope. I hope that one day there is a flying update where you get flying biters and planes. I feel like planes won't be too difficult to do as well. Just make them drive like the car, but you need... If you go below a certain speed, then obstacles start being obstacles again. Whereas otherwise you don't collide with anything, and you can still be shot by spitters and stuff. That's my thoughts on how to do it. Make the most compact but efficient factory possible with as little room as I can. I could try such a thing. That's complicated. To work out what qualifies as well. Also, I've never particularly been one for sort of maximum efficiency. I mean, in certain ways, I do like to make really compact designs. But a full, I never do speed runs or anything like that. Because I know I'd be bad at them. I prefer to have time to think about my decisions and stuff. But I guess that's a different thing. I don't know. Maybe. Let's hop out here and hop in the train. That way we have a little bit more power to us. Though it's going to be a bit more of a wild goose chase, unless I can very rapidly... Oh, I'm at the back of the train, so I couldn't build the track in front of me Wallace and Gromit style, which is a shame because I have previously had tracks running through here, and so the trees have been cleared for such a purpose. Now, I don't want to bother with them attacking this base, though it has very little in the way of defences. So we'll just quickly skip round and let the biters cut off a section of the route, which puts them quite close to me, actually. I am a little less manoeuvrable in a train. That's something to consider. I do know Warhammer 40k. I, in fact, have a huge Space Marine army in a cupboard, unpainted. Because I couldn't do the painting, but I really like the assembling and the battling. And so I did those loads, but I haven't done that in years. Nowadays, I play X-Wing, the miniatures game. Because that thing is awesome. You should all look into it. Right, now I fully expect to die. Oh dear. Oh dear. Hi. Oh, no, this is it. I can keep building walls endlessly. You can't stop me. I'll build walls around you. I can load this. No, I don't have any ammo left. Can I escape via my walls? Oh, no, now I'm dying. Now I'm definitely dying. And I died. So there we go, that's the total time of it. It was more like 40 hours when we started. I guess 41 hours. And that's how much stuff I've destroyed in my time in this. "53 behemoths, and that's just in this run. Alright, so with that, we'll move on to something else. I'm going to momentarily switch the screen to be professional. I will switch to the hat, and I will have a bit of a poke around for something else to do. I guess I won't save that, because that was just me destroying things. Nothing was really achieved. Let's see. Play, load. What do we have? I've got my original YouTube series at the moment before I put down the rocket defense. I've got my second save game ever, I believe. I've got my attempt at a ribbon world. People might like to see that. That is a test run I did for a Ribbon World series that I've never actually done. I might still do one, though. I think I might go for this, just because it's a particularly cool one. There's some other things as well that look cool. I know, I'm going to be going through these a little bit quicker, so we'll have time to look at multiple things, I imagine. Alright, I'm going to load up my Ribbon World, which is 24 hours in. Here we go. There we are. Okay, so yes, here's the world. Looks pretty normal. We've got some steel production going on here. We've got some copper and iron belts. Logistics system running. All very normal. And then you zoom out, and you realize that I'm living on a tiny sliver of reality. And that I have to build everything within this space. And this is a Ribbon World. And this is a very old save, actually. This is like 0.10 sort of time, I think. This will be after I started the first series. I'm not even sure if I was doing Rail World at this point. I probably was. Can't be sure, though. But yeah, I was all set up to do... like, this is the test save file. I usually do this for a series. I usually do a run-through of many hours before I actually make a series on it to make sure that it's any good. And I did 24 hours of this. You see, I've even got a main bus. Yeah, this has to be after Railworld then. Or around that time, because I had the idea of a main bus. I've even got it all the same as I would have. Copper and iron in the middle. Gears and circuits on one side. Steel and plastic on the other side, and the plastic turns into advanced circuits. I've got a power suit, but it's crap. So yeah, I did this whole thing. I got this all operational. I've even got a railway. I was quite, like, nice on myself. I made it like twice the width people usually go for. I think this is 32 or 64 or something. And people have done like 16. Because I wanted to still be able to build cool things. And there's still some interesting things about it, like the fact that there are only 2 directions you can go in, and it makes it hard to advance because you have to deal with the biter bases there, like this horrible thing. But you can also defend it really easily. Yeah, I've got a whole thing going on here. But I was poised and ready to make this series when, like, a bunch of other guys started doing Ribbon World series as well, and I was like, actually, I should probably leave it then, because suddenly there's a bunch of Ribbon Worlds already going on. Basically, the Ribbon World concept was discovered. I started doing this practice run, and then while I was doing this practice run, everyone else did a Ribbon World series, and I didn't really want to be doing the same as literally everyone else was doing. So I left it, but then I forgot, and I never actually did the series. And it is only literally today, as I was scrolling through these saves, that I suddenly remembered I did actually do a practice run Ribbon World, and then gave up on it. The replacement series might have been Rail World, but I think that might have been going, so I think I did No Crafting Challenge instead of Ribbon World. But just looking at this makes me really want to do one now, so you might see a Ribbon World soon, and I will be quite light on myself, because I want to have a railway on it, because that's crazy. Science is done, bunch of stuff here that probably didn't exist at the time. I guess everything's probably still operating, so I can actually just continue with research. Guess I'll concrete everything, or whatever. We should hop on one of these trains. I'm just letting these go. It's no good. Where's this go? Oh, this is just parked in one place now. A Halo world. Well, the problem of that is that you don't have infinite supply of stuff then, which is an important thing with Factorio. There should always be an infinite supply of things, so that you can expand as much as you want to. Yes, Linear Factorio, that was what it was called when somebody did it. I forget who. Someone called it Linear. It goes by many names. I wonder, maybe I should do it vertical. I don't think anyone ever went for vertical, probably because it makes very little sense, but then I could call it vertical slice. Don't steal that. I've come up with that now. It's my thing. This video gets uploaded at the end, so there's proof. Oh, wow! That can't be right. Tanks didn't exist when I made this, surely! This is a lot further on than I thought. Hang on. No, there's no way to check what the original save file was now, because I've loaded it in. Actually, no, I can't check. Oh, whatever. This must be 0.10 then, I think. 0.10 was tanks, right? It must be. It wasn't. It definitely wasn't 0.9. It must have been 0.10 when tanks were implemented. So this is a little bit later on than I thought then. Railworld was definitely underway. But I'm not sure. No crafting challenge must have been before this too. This must have been what was supposed to happen after no crafting challenge? Which is weird, because there's a huge gap in terms of time with that, I think. I'm just getting really confused now. Good night, Halifax 912. I probably missed you leaving by miles. I noticed you Skyload Plays. I am trying to read all the comments and doing a semi-decent job of it. Hi, Macon Bacon. I'm afraid you missed a lot. You've missed me visiting my very first Factorio game. Tanks were 0.11? That does not seem right at all. That's really confusing me. Because I swear this was ancient history when I did this series. There will be a way to look at times and stuff and work out exactly when it was, but I swear this was earlier than 0.11, but I guess it wasn't because there's a tank there. And I'm pretty sure I didn't like stop playing and then start playing again after a while, so it must have been that. Huh. Guess we'll get back to the main base. Good night, Viking Biscuit. It's funny that you say that, Remix, saying that tanks are younger than you thought, because to me I'm now thinking they're older than I thought. But then perhaps they are. It's weird because I remember covering them. But I have been covering updates since 0.10. Yeah, here's my oil setup. Pretty normal. Bit more of an emphasis on productivity, because it's very, very difficult. I remember this is one of the main reasons I was a bit worried about doing a Ribbon World, is that it just doesn't generate oil properly at all. Like, these are maximum settings, I think, for oil. And what do we have? There's one there, nothing for this whole section. 2 there. 3 there, 4 there, 2 there, 1, nothing. Nothing for this entire section. And that's on the maximum settings. I cranked all the oil settings up to full. And it's weird because ores seem to work okay. But it might be different now. I mean, it's been a long time. Maybe not as long as I thought, but it's been a long time. And map generation may have been improved since. The tanks are from 0.11, huh? This is a younger save game than I thought. Surround a biter base with walls and turrets. So I can have the biters as pets. Difficult. I occasionally think about, in living with biters, having a biter zoo. Trapping one of each kind in a box and keeping them for display. But that is cruel, for one thing, and quite difficult for another. Resource spawner overhaul mod. I need to do that at some point. I keep forgetting to try it. I think quite possibly the next series I do will be modded, because I've done 5 now that aren't modded. That's an interesting fact, by the way, about my channel. I have done in its entirety, well, not counting multiplayer series, I've done 5 series of Factorio. I've never finished one without completing the game, but I have only ever finished 2. I finished the original series, and I finished No Crafting Challenge. And Rail World has been going on for over a year. Living with Biters has been going on probably actually for over a year now as well. And Towns is still fairly new. I'm quite slow. That's the sort of takeaway from that. Oh, science has happened. We'll do some more research. Portable fusion reactor, that sounds fun. I mean, I know what it is, but... Ooh, this is before I had my cool design for Advanced Circuits. I mean, it's very similar still. Actually, no, it isn't, because the inputs are on the outside and the outputs on the inside. I have it reversed in my special design. There's all the science set up. And it's all very stretched out. Oh, also, I just remembered this. So the coal. This is a recurring theme with me. It's sort of, I don't do it nowadays, but I used to always end up with problems with coal. Because in the very first series, I had a coal deposit I was trying to build on top of, so I mined it first, but it took the entire series, and so I never built anything over the top of it because I spent the entire time mining it. I did do the same thing here. There was a coal deposit like here, and I mined the whole thing and stored it in chests stretching all along this top row because I didn't want to waste it. But I'm never going to use this because I don't use, like, coal that much. Do I have steam engines, or do I just have solar panels? I have no idea. Oh, I just have solar panels. There they are. Rail bridges mod. Yes, that would be awesome. The ability to cross water in any way would be good. What would I really like to see in the next update for Factorio? Well, I already know what is in the next update for Factorio, because it's been discussed... Oh, we're in biter... Like, the biters are in pollution range, that isn't good. But there's already been a Factorio Friday Facts on what is and isn't in the next update, so I do know, but I do wish that certain things that aren't in it were in it. Such as improvements to trains. That is the main thing, it's always trains. Another bit of coal here that I'm doing the same thing with. But it's much smaller, so it's not too much of a problem. We've also got an iron line running all the way along here. Hello, Ghetto Boy P. But yes, I want to see a bunch more train stuff, and I've thought a fair bit about what train stuff I want to see. I'm just going to wander this way now. So, first of all, fluid wagons. They are a must. Oh, my stream's gone weird. It keeps freezing on me. No one's reported any problems with the stream, though, so it seems to be entirely on my end, which is weird. All my stuff appears to seize up, but then it apparently continues to transmit fine. But yes, a fluid wagon is a necessity, and the developers are working on one, but it will not be until 0.14. They have decided. They've pushed it back to focus on other things, which I really wish wasn't the case, because I was going to use them in Factorio towns as soon as they came out, and now it's going to be like 6 months before they happen. Quite possibly. But yeah, that's an obvious one, and there are many mods at this point that do it. Oh, so the game freezes, but I don't. That's okay then. Ooh, spitters! Did spitters get implemented the same time as tanks? They must have, or sooner. One of those. It has to be. I didn't bring a car. And yes, I am just going to do the same thing again. Oh wait, I don't even need... I can make a tank. Oh, I have to wait for a while. For 24 seconds. But yes, a fluid line. Well, not line. Somebody said line in the comments. A fluid wagon needs to be a thing, absolutely. And the developers recognise this, and at some point we'll implement one. But what we also need are passenger wagons. And you may say, well, what would the passengers be? And of course, it's got to be robots. It can be a portable logistics thing, a portable roboport. So if you're going to make a roboport cargo wagon, you can make it look like a passenger wagon, and then you can have realistic looking trains, and also have it completely functional. Then you could have ore wagons, which are open-topped wagons that can contain only one of the 4 mineable things, but have a greater capacity, and also visually show you how much they contain. That would also be cool. And everything's frozen again, but anyway... Spitters were 0.10, okay. I should know this, I did cover all these updates as it happened. But they've all merged into one nowadays. And what else? I was hoping for some sort of guard van. And that could just be one with an inbuilt turret. And I was also thinking about flatbed wagons. which you can build on, and they'll be like 2x8, so there's not much you can actually do with them. Or maybe make them... I'd say make them something by 3 to fit assemblers on, because that'd be really cool, but that wouldn't make sense in terms of how large they are. But they do actually cover a something by 2 space, so that would make sense. And what you could do is put a turret on either end and a chest in the middle to keep them both supplied. And I can't remember if there was anything else I thought of. That's pretty much it, but they would just be the best... Oh, the other thing is more actual trains, because at the moment all we have is the diesel locomotive, which doesn't actually run on diesel, it runs on coal, and a few people arguing that diesel can come in solid form, apparently. But it is still coal that we're putting in them. I would really like it... I'd just like there to be 2. I'd love it if there were more, but 2 is good enough. If you had 2 trains, one of which was coal-powered and slow, and smaller, and then one that was powered by, like, even solid fuel. Well, I guess you can power... You could probably power a steam engine with solid fuel, but have it powered by liquid in some form. Like, have the ability to craft one form of oil, I guess heavy oil, into diesel or whatever, to fuel the thing, and then you would have a faster one. And you could have an electric train as well, that'd be awesome! You could electrify the lines or something, or have charging points at the stations, and it could be the fastest one. But maybe it has less pulling power or something. There are so many things they could do with it, that I feel like wouldn't be too difficult to implement. I mean, some more difficult than others. So it depends. Like, a moving logistics cargo wagon might be difficult, but we already have the personal robot. The flatbed thing might be difficult, because you probably can't move things that have things built on them. Right, anyway, let's... Now it's daytime again. Hi, guys. Oh. Am I in peaceful mode? Hi. I guess I'm in peaceful mode. I probably did it because it was a test game. And so I just wanted to focus on testing the building and worry about the biters later. So I put it on peaceful mode. Well, I guess we can just blow up one of the spawners and then we'll be good. Yeah, there are so many possibilities you could have for train stuff, and I feel like the developers just aren't bothering. I don't think they think that much about trains. There we go. We might fare decently well. It's not that large a force and there are no behemoths. There's only one big biter, so if we have defences, we're good, but I don't know if we do. We'll find out. Yeah, the issue with the liquid wagon is you have to have a way to get the liquids in and out of the wagon. And the developers are working on that, because they are working on making it so that all cargo wagons are the same length at all times, so that you don't have them, like, positioned wrongly. And so you can just have the pump on a particular square, and it will line up with the train, no matter what numbered cargo wagon it is. So that's what they're going to be doing in 0.13, like standardizing the trains a bit. And there are a lot of train improvements, like rail building is being massively streamlined. There are no turrets here. This is not going to go well. I know there are turrets on the other end though, so I guess we can just run through the entire base, get to the other side and blow them up there. Hello, Noe, it's Potato. I'm not able to read the chat very much right now because I'm having to weave through a very thin factory. Oh, this is interesting. Belts. More belts. Power poles. Oh, knocked that one over. It's okay, there was a backup. Keep going. Oh, I think... Oh, they've stopped and started blowing things up now. We didn't make it. Some of them have. Interplanetary stuff. I think that would not be too crazy. I think that would make some sense. If you could use the rocket to just fly to a new planet and start again or something. Just for the fun of it. But then you could just walk for a few miles. And it'd be the same thing. Here we are. And the reason I have turrets here is because I have been attacking these bases over here. Which is also why the tank is present. Oh, and the big biter made it all the way here. Oh, more guys. Whoops. Whoops, 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 whoops. Reverse. Beep. 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 There we go. It's all good. If the developers ever added ferries, would I do a series about them like in Railworld? Oh, most certainly. If boats were a thing, I would do so many boat things. I mean, I could just go into Railworld, that's the thing. It's got a massive lake. There are so many applications for boats in Railworld. Yes, in peaceful mode, the bases aggro independently. Right, I think everyone's seen this now, so we'll move on to somewhere else before we run out of time. Because we only have like 20 minutes at this point. Run this guy over. Let's see if we can survive against these guys for a second. We can just carry on, I guess. On to the next one. The much more horrifying one. If we don't crash into a rock first. What if there is a lake in the ribbon? You're screwed. I've put the water settings down to absolute minimum for this. And so far, I've been unable to locate any water, which is a good sign. Hi guys! How you doing? That was a lot of worms. I don't know if there's some water there, but I remember I did some tests, and it seems like if you put the water on minimum, you're generally alright. You can travel a very long way before you encounter water. And you do have 2 chances as well, so even if you... to scan that far, I just walked there previously while it was in peaceful mode. Right, let's hop back to... Oh, I've got a weird... There we go. My mouse was doing weird things. Go back to this for a second. I will find something else to look at. I will show you, I think. I have the test game for Factorio Towns, which was actually done quite a long time ago. That I could show you. What else do I have? I have the original series base. I've got a save game that I called The Playground, where I just set up huge squares of infinite ores in the middle of a desert so I could build whatever factory I wanted without any trouble dealing with the terrain, which, as it turns out, is massively boring, and why I then went for the opposite and did Living with Biters, where I can't move for terrain of various kinds. Ooh, a very early sort of concept, I think, of Factorio Towns, which I called Outposts. What else do we have? I have the Mac Factorio multiplayer save file, the original multiplayer series from just before we all got in tanks and killed each other. What else? I have a save file that is 1 second old because I put the biter settings on maximum to see what would happen. And the preview image is, you can't even see me for all of the biters and worm projectiles burying me as I die. Let's see what chat's saying. I killed dead trees. Hello, Ripey. Do I have autosave off? I do not. I think it's still on with an interval of 20 minutes. But I save everything separately. Anyway. I have the Factslorio save file, but we'll leave that till next year. Ooh, I have my test run of living with biters. Though that's only like 2 hours in, so there's not that much of that. I've got the game from when I did a live stream with Ivak. Ooh, this one's just going to be a quick one. I'm just going to load this up for like 2 minutes to show you because it's quite cool. Load that up. And then switch back to that. Here we go. Okay, so you may remember the thumbnail for the first episode of Factorio Towns. This is how I made it. I just crammed a bunch of trains into a bit of open space in the Railworld save. It's Railworld halfway through circumnavigating the lake. We're in the middle of working on the midpoint, which is about when I started the Town series. I just did this. Oh, it's auto-saving. Well, there you go. Auto-saving every 20 minutes. 0.13 is currently planned to be released on June the 1st, which probably means it will not be released on June the 1st. The developers generally release anything a few weeks later than they say they will. So yeah, this is actually my desktop background now. What I've done is I've tiled it. So it's like a 4x4 of the square of that is my desktop background. And also the channel banner. Because I think it's amazing. Also, interestingly enough, if you tile this, you can barely tell where the seams are. Which is quite cool. But anyway, that was just a quick short one. Go back to the hat while I find something else. Ooh. This is an interesting one, because I forgot this existed till I'd already started streaming and I was looking through save files. I don't even know what this one is about. Oh, this is it! Oh, hold on, I gotta show you this. Okay, so I did make a Riven World. I forgot how far I got, so yeah, I did the test run, and I did 24 hours of that, and then, like, because what I said before was that then everyone did a series on it, and I gave up. I forgot. I actually did record episode 1. And it was actually, like, gonna come out. I think I may even have done commentary on it. But I decided it was rubbish and cancelled it. This was... maybe... I think this was gonna be the series and then No Crafting Challenge replaced it. I think that was what it was. But yeah, this is the result of me playing a Ribbon World for an hour. And this was very nearly a series. Like, in an alternate universe, there is a series that's in, like, episode 80 where I am in a Ribbon World. Actually, I probably wouldn't have got that far. I think this is one of those ones where you get to the end of the science, maybe go a little bit further, have some sort of challenge of, like, getting a certain distance, and then you finish. But I completely forgot this was a thing. I forgot I'd actually done it. But yeah, I did record episode 1 of a Ribbon World series before cancelling. I've even got the main bus already forming. That's cool. I didn't even know about that. Alright, let's find something else. We are running out of time, unfortunately, for today. I would like to carry on, but I left things too late, unfortunately. Let's see. What else have we got? Some random save games from 0.10, 0.12. I've got my 100 subscriber special. That's another one to have a quick look at, I think. This was back in 0.9. We've come a little bit far from this. Here it is. 100 subscribers, and just today I reached 14,000. But yeah, I just did this. I built a factory. It took me 2 hours, but I built a factory entirely dedicated to mass producing the copper wire, so I could make an item bomb which would detonate and create this square. And then I drew 100 subs in it. And so thanks to everyone. Oh, and there's the chest that I mined that contained the copper. Item bombs were fun. It's a shame they're not a thing anymore, though they do exist to a certain degree. I don't think you can do them like this anymore, but they do still happen. Space stations would be cool, Dragonfire. I'm not sure exactly what you mean by better resources. Depends what you define as better. Am I Dutch? No, I am English. I assume you were talking to me. I don't know what made you think I was. Shift in space, that's the grid thing, isn't it? Yeah, there it is. I know that. I just never, ever, ever use it. That is the first time I have pressed that combination of buttons in probably 20 months. It's not quite 2 years, but I probably pressed that button like a week into playing Factorio and then never again. I don't know why I don't. It's really useful. It tells me where the chunk boundaries are, which is awesome. Yeah, I just had this crazy column of copper production so I can make all the copper wire. Alright, back to the hat. We're now blasting through them because I spent far too much time on the first save game I was in. What else do we have? How much time do I have as well? Not long. What else do we have? Let's show you this one. This is a 15-hour game from a good while ago. This is one where I created a desert. You can tell that I just made it in the map editor really terribly by all the jagged edges, but I made a square of iron, copper, coal, stone, oil, a solid square of oil and trees, and just trying to make like the perfect factory because I had infinite space. Only thing is, I forgot about water, so let's go look at that. I mean, this is all your usual main bus, but I put everything on one side because I had all the room in the universe. I'll just be showing old saves. Again with the tanks! This is scaring me. It's like my perception of time is apparently completely wrong. Everything I knew is a lie. And I have tanks in all these save games that I thought were far too old for me to have tanks in them. This is weird. I'm getting so many flashbacks of working on these factories. It's weird. But yeah, I forgot to put water on the map, so I had to pipe it in from outside of the desert, which has led to this crazy thing. I just keep having to cram more and more pipes in for there to be enough throughput for everything to work. But yeah, I've got infinite oil, and the yields are insane. I've got 100,000 stone in each square. and 27,000% oil in each thing. But I had to go crazy with the pumps up here to make this work. And it's in peaceful mode, and I got bored of it, is the thing, because everything was perfect. There was nothing to do that was new. Hello, paper plane. Or whatever your name is, because I swear I was recently told that it actually translates to, like, the paper airman. I don't know. I could make perfect mining operations and everything. It was lovely for a time, but there was always something missing, and so I left this world never to return. Speaking of which, whoops, I didn't mean to do that, but I was going to say let's move on. What shall we go to next? I mean, technically I've got like 6 minutes at this point, but we'll keep going. I'd love to go into the save file from our Steam release celebration, but that is annihilated. However, I did save a replay of it, so that exists. Right, let's go back. Let's do this one. Because every time I do a video where I'm in this world, I always, like, private it later because it's a stream announcement. So let's have, like, a permanent video containing it. Now I've got to get up to speed. There we go. Here we are. Going through the desert. Arriving at some radar outposts. And then there's an oil outpost with a very weird design. And here we arrive in a factory. And this is... I mean, if you saw the stream announcement video, you saw this. But this is the save from Factorio Series 1. The one that I started nearly 2 years ago. It went on for something like 35 episodes-ish, that sort of region. I should have checked how many hours in this was. I completely forgot. But yeah, this was before I had the concept of a main bus. It sort of started to form just because I needed it. But it's not really a proper thing. Hello, Straight Banana. Trying to catch up on chat again. The man who is into paper planes. Okay. The guy who is really into paper planes is apparently the translation. Have I still not played Kerbal? I have played Kerbal. It was a long time ago, but I did play Kerbal. I did a series on it. It cut off abruptly. Like every series I do does, apart from Space Hulk and all my Factorio ones. But yes, this is a rare case of a series being completed. And there's a lot of weirdness about it. I mean, look at this. Look at... What was I thinking? I'm belting the wire, and you can see how much trouble I had belting this wire. I could have just done that. I learned about that. Like, originally it wasn't 3 of those, it was just 2 because I didn't know, but I learned about the ratio, but I never fixed this. There's room! I could have done it, but I didn't. I tried. I just went insane about throughput, and this is amazing for keeping things running. I mean, at the moment there's not much going on anymore because I broke it all. I drove the factory into the ground, completing the rocket defense. And actually, I think this is after it's been fixed. Everything was full of, like, level 3 speed modules, and it was horrifying. But yes, the belt spaghetti is real. This is what happens when you know how Factorio works, because you played a game or two already, but you don't know how to actually set up anything. It's an interesting between state. And you basically, this is the midpoint between Railworld and the original save game that I showed you before. I'd got the hang of the game itself, but not how to play it in any sort of good fashion. And so everything is a complete mess. I mean, look at the science belts here. It's crazy. Just because this is over here? Wait, why is it even like this? I'm not even sure. Oh, it's so I can have these here, and also have these here. So it had to do that. It's very strange. And I only had 2 red science pack assemblers, and 4 green ones. I had 8 blue ones, which is a good number. You can see I cut the line, because I was trying to put all my resources into other things. Ah, but this is all the research that has been implemented since that series ended. A full row of it. Gates, walls. I mean, walls existed, but you didn't need to research them, you could just build them. The circuit network, concrete, personal roboports, extra logistics research, logistics trash slots, tanks, the rocket silo. All of those have been new since this series, and this series ended in 0.10, I think. It was before tanks, so yeah, it will have been 0.10 then. I'm gonna call you Paper Plane, but now I don't know what your name is exactly, what I should call you. But I was considering completing the game again on this, but I sort of want to wait till the full end game is made. Because at the moment it's just the, you build the rocket and you launch it and you're good. And I would like to have the extra bit beyond that, which I'll not spoil, because some people won't know about that, and it'll be really cool when it happens. But there is more beyond launching the rocket, and I would rather wait till that is implemented before I go back to this save and the No Crafting Challenge save and complete them again. This is what your factories would look like if you didn't learn from my videos. Well, that's the thing. I didn't learn from my videos. I made this, and then I learned. After the nightmare, because there were so many things that just drove me insane about this. Like, this is... Everything goes through these 2 belts here. This was actually only red, but that was because this being blue wasn't enough. This is a quarter of the throughput that I have in Railworld. And that's the thing, like, in Railworld, I went crazy with the belts. I immediately went for 2 belts per type of plate. Because I had experienced this and been driven insane by how long things took. And how terrible the throughput issues were. Enough that I went completely crazy with Railworld. And it's worked to this day. I've never had to increase the capacity of the belts apart from upgrade them to blue, which I planned for. I should go look at the stations and such. But there's our oil system, also smaller than everything in Railworld. Only 3 refineries, and it was terrible. Nightmare. It was all a nightmare. Everything was a nightmare. It was fun though. Oh, we missed a train. Yeah, these were my smelting columns. Pretty decent, actually. Oh, here's a train. So, this does use signals, but in a very basic way. There are only 3 blocks. So this train goes out there, clearing that block, which means that train can go in. Oh, well, there's also that thing there. There's not that much about these places, really. But yeah, both of these just split into 2. So, copper has 2 trains, iron has 2 trains, and then there's an oil train up there, which is weird, because I already had pipes going to there, so I just had a train delivering to there, which was weird, but I did it. I am over my deadline, Jack. I know, I need to stop soon, because I'm running out of time. And it probably has to be pretty much now. This is the last save we're looking at. quickly grab this thing and use it to get a little bit closer to our destination. There we go. See, it just unloads into some pipes there, which is rubbish. And there's a coal supply for keeping the train running. Bunch of solar panels there, a bunch over there as well. Similar actually to Railworld. I sort of did the same thing with that, up in that corner of the factory. This lake is huge. Never really noticed. Should have circumnavigated it. Maybe I will one day. But yeah, we've got our little oil mining thing, oil pumping thing. But that's pretty much it. And I just built, like in the last episode, I built this rail line leading off into the north, so that I would just, I would finish the episode driving off in a train. I unloaded everything from my inventory except modules. Efficiency modules specifically. I put them in a chest and then I went, actually no, and kept them. Oh, the train isn't here. I went past it. I wasn't paying attention. Oh, no, I left it rolling, so it's just going to have kept going. Oops. Don't have a spare train on me. But yeah, I packed up my efficiency modules and left for the north. And arrived in Railworld. And created my rail empire. Because one thing I really... that I left this world still wanting to do was make a bunch more train stuff. Because I didn't do enough in this. I did enough to like, want to do more and make a bigger system. And that's what I did in Railworld. And I love trains. Now, they're the best. I essentially did Wallace and Gromit this train as I was building this thing. I don't have any rails on me, and I can't craft any either, but yeah, it just stops here and that's it. And then, oh, it stops because I saw water, I think. I was like, oh, I'm going to hit the water, so I'll leave it there. And I'll cut before I get to the end of the line. But yes, I think with that we'll go over here and say hi to these biters. Hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. Do you like my parasuit? Does it taste nice? It's... oh dear. And we're gone. So it was about 33 episodes then, I guess, depending on how long each one exactly was. They were 15 minutes, but an hour of gameplay. But with that, let's go back to the main menu, and unfortunately I must wrap up for today. I have played OpenTTD. I should play that more. I played it for a very short time. Didn't like how little automation there was, and then found out that I'd missed a bunch of automation in it and didn't go back to it anyway. I will do that at some point. But yes, I must now depart. We are out of time. I wish I could have had more time, but I messed up. I should have done this stream yesterday. I didn't even mention that, actually. The anniversary was actually yesterday. It's the 6th of April, but I didn't get things ready in time, so I did it today instead. And none of you even knew. Ha! Except I've ruined it now. But yes, I must leave. I hope you enjoyed. More streams will be coming, I think. That is the plan. Perhaps not of Factorio. I usually stream other things instead. And leave Factorio to the videos. But who knows? We might do more exploring, because there's still a lot more saves to mess about in. That's the point. Oh, I never found the No Crafting Challenge save. Where on earth is it? It must be somewhere. I'll have to unearth that at some point. So I plan on continuing that eventually and doing the space stuff. But that is it for today. So I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you all for coming. I appreciate it. And I shall say goodbye. Thank you for watching. And I shall see you next time.